Hello everyone, I'm Scott T. Petersen and I just love animation. I've been in the animation industry for about 25 years and I consider myself really fortunate to have worked with some amazing, wonderful, talented people through the years, and I thought it'd be a great idea to spotlight some of them. So without any further ado, let me introduce you to our animation spotlight for today. His name is Franz Vischer. I got to know Franz while working at the Duncan studio on a very exciting movie project, and his character animation on that show was really fun, well acted, and drawn extremely well. And on top of that, he's just a great guy to be around. Franz's career as an animator goes way back to Mickey's Christmas Carol, The Black Cauldron, and Who Framed Roger Rabbit, as well as that Back to Neverland short with Robin Williams and Walter Cronkite.
Oh, I can be anything. I can be
just a tiny person.
or make my eyes really big, or maybe have legs that are real long.
I could even be you, Walter Cronkite. Now hold on there.
Can I do this? I'm happy. I'm grumpy. I'm dopey. Hi, everybody. I'm a corporate symbol.
Hold it.
He was also among some of the first classes that came through the animation program at Cal Arts when it was newly formed in the 70s. But one of my favorite things that he's done in his career, hands down, was to supervise on the characters Darla Dimple and her servant Max in the movie Cats Don't Dance. I mean, those two characters were the best part of that movie for me. So sit back and enjoy getting to know a little bit about Franz Vischer.
Yeah, I grew up in Holland. I was born in Holland, and I was 11 when my family moved to the States. My parents feared the spread of communism, you know, the Soviet Union at the time, and socialism and all that. But I grew up in Holland, loving to draw and reading books, and I was a very shy kid. And so I was perfectly happy sitting there just being left alone in the corner of the room and just doing my own thing. That and playing soccer, which I loved. And when we came to America in 1970, when I was 11, I didn't speak any English and there was hardly any soccer here, and I was miserable at first. So we lived in Northern California, in Cupertino. So my mother had had two uncles actually living there. So they had been imploring my folks, you know, come to California, it's great here. So that's what we did in February 1970, and so I went to high school there, and then from there I came to Cal Arts in 1978. And I actually have an interesting story. I was really fortunate that Chuck Jones actually helped me get into Cal Arts. He came to speak, when I was in high school, he came to speak at a junior college, and I had been making animated films of my own, Super 8, and just learning trial and error. And when he came to speak, I had bought, I'd saved up and bought a Super 8 movie projector, which was in this big box, and it had a pull-out screen, and so I was still horribly shy all through high school. But I thought, I want to show my little film to Mr. Jones somehow, stupidly, naively. I thought I could pull that off. So here I came into this theater with this big box on my lap, and he showed a bunch of movies. They did a Q&A. And the Q&A, I of course, was way too shy to speak up, so I just sat there wishing everybody would leave, so I had Mr. Jones all to myself, and that didn't happen actually. And so I waited, and I kept thinking, oh, what, I gotta do it, and people were, basically it was ending, people were leaving and approaching Chuck Jones and asking him questions as we're walking toward the lobby of the theater. And at that point, it was basically now or never, and I finally had the nerve, and I said, could I please show you my movie if I could just plug it in, and I have a screen here. And the man running the event, the MC, basically told me to get lost. But Chuck Jones gave me his business card and said, if you send it to me, I promise I'll look and I'll send it back to you. And that's what happened. I sent it to him, and a couple weeks later he called me at home, and here I was in our kitchen talking to Chuck Jones, and he brought up Cal Arts, which I hadn't heard about even, and suggested I go there. And so, long story, but I visited the school on my own and spoke to the head of the program, which at that time was Jack Hanna, a former director at the Disney studio. And I showed him my portfolio. He loved everything I had, and he said, there's a committee that decides this, so it's not me alone. If it's up to me, you're in, but you know, we'll see and strengthen this and this and this. So I went through and improved what I could, and a few months later officially sent in my portfolio, and I got a letter back declining me. I was not accepted, and I was heartbroken, and I couldn't believe it. And I called up Chuck Jones and I told him, I said, yeah, they wouldn't accept me. What do you think I should do? And he said, well, I've got a copy of your film. He had asked me that. He had a video copy, so he sent that to Cal Arts. And a few weeks later, I got a call that said, okay, you're accepted on probation. So I had a 1-year probation. If I didn't cut it, then I'd be out. But I did. I ended up staying 3 years at Cal Arts, and I was hired by the Disney studio after my 3rd year.